You know, fruit is a staple of a very good diet. Gotta have your veggies and your fruit. So, how you guys doing? It is a Saturday, went out, did some grocery shopping, picked up some apples. Yeah, I may have an apple or two, but my primary motivation was to get some apples for the kids. Gotta keep them interested, gotta keep new things coming. So I have given them apples before. They do like apples. So that's what you are seeing. So there is some honey water in there, as well as honey water. Yeah, honey water. So what I do is I just take a little bit of water, some honey, mix it up real good. I actually put it in the microwave for about 5 seconds, just to kind of get everything blended, and drop it in there. And they tend to like that a little bit more. So I plug up the end, plug up the nest when all the ants are in there, clean it up, and then drop in some honey water and some fruit. Let me show you one of my other colonies. They've got the masses out. There's one of the other colonies. Gave them 2 drops of sugar, or honey water. I keep wanting to say sugar water, but you know, the Nova Messers, they pretty much like anything, but the honey's good for them, and they tend to like it. So, ooh, I see one of my other colonies. The queen is actually out partaking. Let me grab them real quick. Now, as you guys know, the Nova, well, I can't assume that you know, but the Nova Messer queen is semi-claustral, so, which means the queen will come out of the nest after they start their colony. And she was obviously hungry because, well, she came out. And this is a little bit better of an angle. I like that. More better, as the kids would say. Actually, I don't think any of the kids say that, but I do. So they're definitely digging the apple. Oh, look, here's another colony that the queen came out. Let me go grab that one. Always fun to see the queen come out. I've also noticed with this species, the ants are getting bigger, and that's normal. You're always going to see the nennictics, or the first ants of the colony, be a bit smaller because the queen is feeding. Well, again, these queens are semi-claustral, but typically, like with the fully claustral, where once they've found their nest, they stay in the nest. They don't come out. You know, the nutrients that the eggs, the larvae, and ultimately pupae are getting are from the mom, from the queen. So naturally, the first ants are going to be a bit smaller. But you know, now that they have a steady supply of food, you know, the worker ants are significantly larger in size. My creaking chair. Let's grab another colony, have a peek. These guys were hungry. So they were definitely on the honey water earlier, but now they're focused primarily on a little piece of apple. They're definitely digging that. Oop, don't snap in the... So cool to watch them. I can't wait to get like a micro lens or micro camera where I can really zoom in. You guys can see this because it's... and even, you know, there's so much more you see with these zooms than I can see with the naked eye. It's kind of neat to see them pull off a little chunk of that honey water. Yeah, there's a queen. She just came out. First I was like, God, that's a big worker ant right there. fighting for her space. And she's like, yeah, screw it, I'm going in. Y'all can bring me some food later on. Yeah, look at that ant, the lower ant just gobbling up that honey. That's so cool. Get some. Yeah, sorry, the video quality isn't. Oh, just dropped in. Yeah, the foraging area, it's all acrylic, so it's the reflection is through the camera is far more noticeable than with the naked eye. Just the light reflecting off the plastic, but you guys get the idea. It's still pretty cool. It's just cool to see them gobbling that up. Change my angle here without disturbing them too much. And I've got some crickets, which I'll be feeding them tomorrow. Figure today will be fruit and honey, and then tomorrow we'll square them up with some protein. Okay, I think we've bothered them enough. Let's look at another nest. And of course, my all-time favorites, the Honeypot. See if we can zoom out just a hair. And they really, the apple really, while the Nova Messers are all over the apple, these guys have, certainly been more interested in the honey water. Oh, sorry for the creaking. I've seen other keepers that do have this particular species or similar type species where they'll put food coloring in the in whatever liquid feeder they have, and just watch the their gasters change colors as well as the repletes inside the nest. Which, I don't know, if I get a couple successful colonies going of this species, I may try that, but right now, this is the most successful one I've got, and I don't want to risk introducing food coloring and stuff like that. I just want to keep it as natural as I possibly can under the circumstances. And I believe you can actually, as a drink, you can see their gasters enlarge, which is totally cool. eventually I want to get some, better cameras. I've been saying for far too long, and then some editing software where I can just sit here and, with like a micro lens, watch them feed and, do like a time lapse where you can actually see their gassers enlarge as they feed. Well, let's leave these guys alone. Let them eat in peace. And my larger Novamaster colony in the fortress. Now, what you see is their pupate state. You can kind of see what looks like a white shriveled up ant. You can see the eyes, you can see the mouth. See them moving them around right there. And God, 2-3 days this colony's going to grow, because you can see those ants. I mean, and I've tried to film it in the past. It's very difficult to actually, because what's going to happen is they're going to start to gain some color. I hope you guys can see what I'm talking about there, which you can see like the two eyes, the mandibles. But yeah, what you'll see is they'll start to get a little bit of color, darken up just a wee bit, not as dark as the adults. And then one day they'll just start moving a leg, and it takes a couple hours. They'll move a leg, and they'll start stumbling around kind of like a Bambi. And then they're ants, and then they go to work. I've tried to capture it, and again, when I get better equipment and better software to do like a time lapse, hopefully I'll be able to capture that. But these guys are pretty cool when they eclose from their current status. They don't like the light, so they're moving. Let's see if I can see where they're moving everybody to. Looks like they're moving them into the tunnel between the connection between the foraging area and the nest. A little bit darker over there. Some of them are actually coming out in the foraging area. They don't have the direct light, but big old cluster of eggs. One ant's carrying. Oh, there's Miss Queen. There's Mom. But yeah, this nest is gonna get larger here pretty quickly, and I've already reached out to Tar Heel ants and intend to order another one of these, because this colony's done very well in this nest. So I intend to start moving some of my other Novamasters after shipping and all said and done. I do get the museum glass. So I get some of the added perks. I'm usually out the door about $85-90. I think with shipping, I call it 100, so I try not to get too crazy with these. I get them as the budget allows, but the colony definitely appreciates this larger nest. At least the Novamasters do. And all my Novamasters are about the same size. This one you can tell is about ready to grow with all those oh God, pupate state. Yeah, not the larvae. Now what's interesting is with these guys, they don't cocoon like the honeypots do. They go into like a cocoon. These guys kind of go from the larvae state to what I call the pupate state, which looks like a shriveled up ant. You can see them here pretty clearly. I hope you can at least. Boy, they got a big pile back there. I'm going to go ahead and stop filming and leave them alone. I don't want to stress them out anymore. Well, guys, that is it. I'll give you a quick view of the current setup. It's kind of a mess. Here are my colonies. This is one of my original honeypots. It's still alive, barely. The Novamaster that you guys are just looking at, and my current honeypot colony that's doing relatively well. Dig in the honey. So there they are. Guys, as always, thanks for watching, and have a wonderful weekend.